I've come to Tula Tula, an exclusive game reserve in South Africa, at the invitation of its owner, conservationist and author Lawrence Anthony. Sadly, Anthony died just weeks before I arrived. But his wife and business partner, Francoise Malby-Anthony, and his incredible staff have shown me an amazing time in his stead.
Checking the crocodile. I hope the rangers are taking. If the crocodile is not getting to us. You're checking on the crocodile, huh, Sizwe?
Yes.
You sure? Thank you. When I met him in London 25 years ago. And in those days we actually met by chance.
I love the story in the book when he talks about you refusing to get into that cab with him. Or letting him.
But I felt full of remorse. I was in a bad mood. It was cold, it was early, it was...
Yeah.
I can explain. But lots of excuses. But anyway, I could have.
You did. So you felt bad, you felt remorse, and you thought, oh shoot, I should at least apologize to this,
yes,
poor guy.
And here I am, so it worked. Whatever I did.
How did that work out? How did you date somebody who you met in a third country and he lived so far away?
Well, there's a telephone, number one.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure there was no Skype. So
there was no Skype, no emails in those days.
We had to resort to calling.
But he came back to visit me in Paris 3 weeks later. And I came to South Africa to visit him. And at the end of that year, it was in 1987, I moved to South Africa in December, 87.
So when did you know you wanted to move to another continent, let alone another country, another continent to be with this person?
Within 6 months, I think.
Yeah. What was his original career? Because I know he was from a city. He was not raised in the country. He was not raised in the bush.
Not at all. No, not at all. He was in business. He was marketing kind of product. So he was in business in those days. He was in property. For quite a while, when we had the opportunity to buy this game reserve here to Tula that Lawrence was working as well on that project of the Royal Zulu as well. But I think that was the reason why we bought this game reserve in 1998. It was a beginning of those huge conservation projects in which he got involved.
So, I mean, obviously you were a complete willing partner in the whole enterprise.
Well, I didn't have a clue what I was going into. So what a game reserve.
You're from a city too. You're from Paris.
I'm from Paris. I'm from the south of France originally, but I lived in Paris when I met Lawrence. And so it was a bit of a, how do you say that, interesting adjustment kind of thing from Paris to the bush. But we lived in Durban for 10 years before moving here. So I had a vague idea what was a game reserve. A vague idea.
So now you have a good idea.
Yeah. Between all the adventures which are in the books about the snake falling into the stove and all that. I mean, that was, how do you say that? A shock. How do you say that? Not a cultural shock. Yeah, a cultural shock.
I'd say it's a cultural shock. Yeah. From an apartment in Paris to a snake falling into your stove in the middle of nowhere in South Africa.
But if you don't like being bored, here's the right place. Never a dull moment.
What made you say it? Because clearly, I know he was headstrong and he perhaps would have made up his mind to buy land no matter what, but what made you think, yes, I want to be a part of this too?
I thought it was an amazing project, an amazing adventure. Why not? Must try, must do it. I mean, he looked so passionate about the whole place and about the whole thing. And I just thought, when we bought it, there was nothing, obviously. It used to be a hunting farm before. Mm-hmm. And then from that, Tula Tula was created with a lodge and everything. Because I thought, to provide, to be able to keep up a game reserve. In those days, it was 1,500 hectares. To be able to keep this, you need some income. And the income has to come from the hospitality side and from the tourism.
Right.
The lodges are keeping the whole conservation project, obviously.
Do Do you have any plans to do another one? Because I know now the reserve is more than doubled in size since you originally bought it.
4,500 hectares now.
You going to put another lodge on it?
I don't think so. Not yet. It's a lot of work, to build in the bush and to organize it.
I can't imagine even trying to clear a square meter of this land, much less what
to get all the stuff to build. It's an interesting experience. Can put it that way.
The last time I was here, they were trying to pour a slab just for one of the outbuildings around tented camp, and the cement truck came in and got stuck in the mud.
Yeah. And then things collapse and things fall.
You obviously have always run the two lodges, and he has handled the reserve
That's
side
it, yeah.
of this monster.
Lawrence, we were the perfect team, actually, the both of us, because he dealt with the bush, the game reserve, the animals, the dam, the roads. I mean, all the organization of the game reserve, which is a huge work in itself. The security as well. I mean, all that stuff I didn't have. I mean, I wouldn't have known where to start. And on the other hand, we had dealt with the building of the lodges and the whole concept of to develop it for the tourism industry, obviously, to get guests and so on. All the admin, the marketing, and the building and the whole setup. That's what I did.
I know one of his goals was to build an animal rehabilitation center here.
Yes, that is correct, yeah.
Is that still going to happen?
It's part of our project, yes. We'll know that in the next few months. Oh. But in the meantime, we can still, like we've done with our baby rhinos, like we've done with a lot of animals that we have until now, we've done it. Yeah. We've done it anyway, so it doesn't change it. Like Alison with the baby rhinos, I mean, we raised them at the lodge. They were very entertaining, actually. I mean, all the animals we've rehabbed. I mean, we build them a little house or a little at the lodge, and we manage like that. And then the day they go back into the bush, that's it.
That's it.
They've been rehabbed, so they're free. So once they're free, it's like the rhinos like this.
Yeah.
Even if our rhinos are guarded, like by
I know. Seeing him.
like a rock star, but they're still free. You see, at least they are in the bush the whole day, the whole night.
How old are they now?
Tombi is getting close to 3 years old.
And they'll have guards forever? I mean, essentially?
Forever. Until the poaching gets finished, which in the meantime we have to protect them.
And I know there have still been attempts on the reserve. Is it still, do you think, once Lawrence passed, the word got around, do you think people are sort of trying to push the boundaries here and see what they can get away with?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I know there's groups of poachers all around KwaZulu-Natal. Because we've got a high concentration of rhinos in this area, obviously, and they move around. Since then, we've employed 2 more guards, so now we've got 7 people. We employ 7 people to look at our rhinos, 2 at night, 2 during the day, armed guards. And plus
just for the rhinos?
Just for the rhinos. So we're really saving our rhinos, we're working at saving our rhinos. You know, animals are amazing. Animals, they've got a sixth sense that humans don't have. I mean, well, few humans have.
But Lawrence had it.
Lawrence had it. Lawrence was one of them, you know. And I don't know, they actually came here 2 days after Lawrence passed away. And they all came around the house. They haven't been there for quite a few months. And they all waited at the house, like they knew something.
Knew something was wrong.
They came to pay their respect.
How long did they stay?
They stayed a couple of hours. Yeah, all standing at the fence around the house. It's quite spectacular to see that, the whole family.
I can't imagine. How many of them are there now?
21. We just got a new baby a couple of months ago.
So Lawrence got to see the last edition.
Absolutely. We start with 7 elephants, now we've got 20. So they're happy here. They make babies, they're happy.
We saw them when we caught up with them. They were right next to the fence of the reserve. They didn't even notice a fence there, which 10 years ago they would have been trying to get through it. And now they feed against it and don't even think twice.
Because they know they find happiness and freedom here, and they know they are safe. It's the most important thing. You see? I think when they first arrived, they got very confused. I mean, they had like a 14-hour trip all the way from where they were. When they arrived it was 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was chaotic. And 24 hours later, they had gone. They were gone.
The morning they got here, you were up at 3
I
or 4
was there,
a.m.
oh yeah, but we were all waiting for them. That was the most amazing. And the truck got stuck in the mud. We had huge rain just before they arrived, so it was chaotic to the...
What happens now?
This is a good question. What's happening now? Well, of course, I'm kind of being helped. I've got amazing managers, you know. I've got amazing staff. Actually, out of the 70 people, I mean, I've got wonderful people, and everyone is taking over a little bit more work to help me in the field that I was not involved with before. So I've got a wonderful guy who's in charge of the game reserve, the security. His name is Woozy. He's been with us for many years. He used to be a game ranger and became game reserve manager. He's in charge of security as well. And I've got all my very loyal and fantastic managers like Mabona and like and everyone. I mean, they're wonderful, and they're just helping me, taking over a lot of things, so that between all of us, I'm sure we're going to cope.
Well, it will take all 70 of them to make up for one man.
Ah, well.
Although I know he wasn't doing it on his own to begin with.
No, but he's impossible to replace, Lawrence. He's a kind of irreplaceable kind of personality and charisma and whatever.
What's the name of his dam now?
Umkhulu. Umkhulu means grandfather in Zulu. It used to be the Mfazi Dam. Now we've changed the name since the ashes of Lawrence have been put here.
Very scattered.
Scattered here on the 13th of February. And since that day we decided to change the name of this dam to Umkhulu Dam.
And I know Numzan
remains. Numzan being the big baby of Lawrence. He was a naughty little boy, this one. But he was the biggest, so they are right next to each other. Isn't it amazing?
People think that you're going to sort of pack up and go back to France after
No, it's just...
You're here for good.
These are rumors. No, I'm here. I've been here since the creation of this place. I mean, I've been here 14 years, so 25 years in South Africa, but I mean 14 years at Chula Chula. I mean, it's my life here. It's my life. So, I don't know, this is just rumors, you know, that I was living in. It's just, you know, it's easy to spread a rumor. There's nothing easier to do. So, no, of course I'm here. I mean, to carry on the legacy of Lawrence in any case. I mean, Lawrence would hate it to know that I've left and left the elephant and everyone behind. I mean, it wouldn't cross my mind in any case to leave. It's my life here.
No, it's your legacy.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.